95% of your branded search traffic is coming through your one single branded exact match keyword. Is it worth it to even have other branded search ad groups and keywords and phrase match? Let's talk about it. So essentially I'm pulling this from PPC Reddit. And let's dive right in. So essentially the person is saying they have 95% of their branded search traffic and sales comes from a single exact match keyword, my company name, right? Just as an example. And ROAS is super high as expected, right? They've experimented with a bunch of extra ad groups, company name plus product type using phrase match. All the search terms are relevant. That's really good to hear. And on brand. Okay, awesome. And we do have the odd sale from these, but conversion rates and ROAS are always much lower than the single company name keyword. Okay, I'm wondering if it's even worth having these extra ad groups and just allocate the full campaign budget to the single exact match company name keyword, since that's generating the most sales ROAS. The downside would be the loss of SERP visibility by not running all the phrase match keywords in the ad groups. Okay, perfect. So a couple of things. So one, if 95% of the branded search traffic and sales is going through that one exact match keyword, I would be curious to see what search terms that it shows for. Are the search terms just, Acme Incorporated, and that's the exact match keyword, and that's it? That's the only thing flowing through there? Or is the close variant matching also attracting other search terms? So that would be valuable to know, because if it's only going after that one, it might be valuable, even though it doesn't deliver a high ROAS, it might be valuable to still have those other phrase match variations, either in other ad groups if that's appropriate, because you want to control the ad copy messaging and the landing pages differently. That would be one reason to do it. In general, though, for a branded search campaign, I get it. It seems like it's kind of like, well, why spend all the budget on this, on these other things if they don't deliver as high of a ROAS? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're covering all of your bases. And also, more importantly, as I touched on, you want each ad group to have very specific messaging and copy that's relevant for the products that you're selling or the services that you're selling. So if someone is typing in Acme leggings, then you are showing ad copy that's just speaking to that searcher's request, right? So it's just talking about the leggings, and you can have ad extensions that are very specific to that product, if that makes sense. If you have a large catalog or you have a bestsellers page just for leggings, you'd want to have that control, which you wouldn't really have if you just had one exact match keyword in one ad group. So that's one thing. Control the messaging, test different landers for those different product categories or services. That's one good reason to do it. Now, is it really a big deal, though, to have a little bit lower of a ROAS in these other keywords? Is the budget so restrictive that it's going to make a big difference to just chop those and just send all the traffic to that one single exact match keyword? I would argue it probably isn't. It's probably going to be, you're going to have enough budget to send traffic to all those different ad groups, and it allows you to do that ad copy testing and those landing page tests. Even if the volume is not very high, you can at least do it slowly over a long period of time. So the risk versus reward, it doesn't really seem like it's worth it to me personally. Like, I don't think you're going to have a large reward from just chopping the budget on the other ones and keeping them. And I don't think it's a high risk to keep the other ones. So that's kind of like my 2 cents on this. I do think you want to control it as best as possible, especially if you're doing things to grow the company. You might not see a lot of traffic now for those other ad groups, but maybe eventually you do start seeing that happening. I'd also investigate any cross pollution of search terms. You might be seeing that there are the same search terms showing up in multiple ad groups. And if you want to get a little bit more control there, you might have to add some exact match keywords to that ad group where this exact match keyword is showing, and then make sure that those other ones, like the product type ad groups, have that exact match keyword for the brand added to that. So essentially just making sure that you are controlling as best you can the funneling of certain searches to the most appropriate ad group. So yeah, I would recommend it. It probably doesn't seem like it's worth it to cut those, in my opinion, even though 95% of the sales and traffic are going through that exact match keyword. But I would investigate all those things along the way. That should help you answer your question there. But yeah, hopefully that helps, and we'll see you in the next video.